formed 4 years back in Hamburg to promote ancient culture. Now the young children of Team Anivasi Bharati presents the skit, My Life is My Message. The life of Mahatma Gandhi, who sacrificed his life for the sake of Indian independence and to promote non-violence.
Ich glaube, Sie haben auch verstanden, eigentlich sprachlich übersetzt. Trotzdem sage ich, dass die Kinder werden das Leben von Mahatma Gandhi, sein Werk und erzählen hier auf der Bühne.
From the dawn of history, India has been revered as the mother of civilization. Thousands of years ago, when most of the world was still living in a prehistoric era, the people of India lived in a golden age of advanced culture and knowledge. Before the Mayans of Mexico developed their complex imperial state, or the powerful kings of Persia had conquered Babylon, before the pharaohs of Egypt constructed the Great Pyramids, before Alexander the Great defeated the army of Darius and expanded his sovereignty over the known world, before the supremacy of the mighty Roman Empire, or before the imperial dynasties of China built the Forbidden City, India, with all her splendor, had already risen to greatness, if not to glory. Indeed, India became a legend in her own time.
In the year 1600, when the British came to India for trading, they traveled across the length and breadth of the country. They were surprised to see that the people of India lived peacefully together, although their culture and the languages differed. In one line, they witnessed the unity in the diversified country. The British realized that if they had to conquer this country, they needed to break the very backbone of the country, which is a rich spiritual and cultural heritage. They found their way and used the weapon, divide and rule. Consequently, there was a rise of internal fights. The British started conquering the country gradually and started ruling for generations. While India had lost her peace in the interwar, many attempts for freedom were unsuccessful due to the lack of coordination. And when there was a need for the right leaders for the nation to achieve the dream of Swaraj, the democratic freedom, there came this tiny man, the noble soul, preeminent political and spiritual leader, the man of strong vision and courage. Who was he? He was none other than Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, one man whose voice spoke out for millions and billions, who came with the weapon of non-violence. He identified that the people were divided by their differences, making the British stronger and powerful. He realized that the unifying people weaken the control of British. He preached non-violence and tolerance by asking people to show one cheek when they received a blow on another one.
My dear brothers, why are you fighting? We all are one. Sabka Malik Ek Hai. Let us join and fight back together freedom with a weapon of non-violence. Join the hands in constructing free India.
One of the momentous events in the Indian history of freedom struggle is Dandi Salt March, held in the year 1930 under the unparalleled leadership of Gandhiji. Mahatma Gandhi, who regarded himself as a soldier of peace, led the march for over 400 kilometers with his followers from Sabarmati Ashram to a place called Dandi to protest against the imposition of tax on salt, which is the basic need of people. With this historic event, the civil disobedience movement was formally introduced across the nation. The large-scale participation of the masses in the Indian history of freedom struggle commenced with this Dandi March. The wider impact of Dandi March in all sections of the society was simply insurmountable. Swadeshi Andolan was described by Mahatma Gandhi as the soul of self-rule in the country. It held that if Indians made their own clothes, it would deal an economic blow to the British establishment in India. Strategies of Swadeshi movement involved boycotting British products and the revival of domestic-made products and production techniques.
My dear friend, let us use the goods produced by our own countrymen so that we can establish a firm economic ground and be a self-reliant country. Let us not use the foreign-made products.
Gandhiji, who wore a dhoti and a shawl for the rest of his life to express his simplicity of life, reaffirmed that the Swadeshi movement was a popular inner strategy to destabilize the British rule in the country. In the year 1942, the Quit India movement, also known as Bharat Jodo Andolan, was a civil disobedience movement in India, launched in response to Mahatma Gandhi's call for the immediate independence of the country. Its aim was to bring the British government to the negotiating table to determine but passive resistance. Most of the leaders of the struggle were put in jail by the British. Despite lack of direct leadership, large-scale protests and demonstrations were held all over the country. The British responded with mass detentions, arresting more than 1 lakh people. Within a few months, the movement had gained its momentum, and with almost no other options left, the British had to give up. On 15th of August 1947, India, after 3 centuries of vigorous struggle, restored independence by the virtue of sacrifices by many noble souls. One such great soul was Mahatma Gandhi, who was truly a martyr for the cause of non-violence, whose life was a glorious example of his thoughts. Gandhiji's birthday is celebrated as International Day of Non-Violence, as he has left the world richer with a renewed faith in the dictates of non-violence.
भारत माता की वंदे वंदे.
We now introduce you to our little children. Harshita Harish Babu as Bharat Mata, Rijul Jitendra as Mahatma Gandhi, Diya Chandrasekhar as a Christian, Vaishnavi Girish as Muslim, Pragna Muralidhar as a Hindu, Bhujita Nagendra Kumar as a Sikh, Srushti Sushil Kumar as a British person, Diksha Girish as again British, Prajwal Prashant as Swadeshi, Khushi Surender as Gandhi follower, Janvi Girish as Subhash Chandra Bose. On behalf of Anivasi Bharati team, we thank you for giving us an opportunity to portray the power of non-violence. We thank you, one and all.